Ladies and gentlemen, we back with another one, guys. We back with another one. Welcome to another edition of What the Hell is Happening in Sports. It's your boy, the one and only Nero, and I'm here with my guy, Mr. Amari Scott. Shout out to the Bay State.
What's going on, guys? How we doing? How we feeling? How we feeling?
Doing well, doing well. Hey, can't complain. Another good night, but from the Celtics. Interesting to start out with. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
With turnovers and shit like that. We'll get into that. But we didn't talk about their last game against the Clippers.
Nope.
And it was a big win. They were up by a lot, but then the Clippers, James Harden and the Clippers ended up making it a game. You feel me? Real quick, Amari, about them Clippers and about even James, the eldersman, James Harden, who, in year 16 still hasn't missed a beat. Maybe even
Yep.
17. I lost track. But talk to me about that dude. Talk to me about the beard, Kaj. Because that looked
He's really reinvented himself. I like how his game's not necessarily predicated on getting downhill anymore. Because as we know, if you've watched the Clippers at all, or watched James Harden in these recent years, chat, he hasn't been the typical explosive guy getting to the rim. That first step is no longer there. So I think he's really found a way to reinvent himself in Los Angeles. It was tough because he was dealing with hamstring stuff and hamstring problems over in Brooklyn, and they were pressuring him to play. And that probably did a decent amount of damage for sure in what helped him lose his first step. But you look at him now, how he's reinvented his game. He's going back to his triple double ways. He's kind of going back to spreading the ball around a lot more. And I think, he's picking and choosing when to take the game over, knowing that he doesn't have the physical nature anymore to take the game over from the start consistently, night in, night out.
right.
And he's honestly on the Clippers, he's played way better defense, probably maybe the best defense of his career due to
Absolutely.
having a good defensive team around him. John Collins is a great defender. Zubac, as we know, one of the best defending bigs in the league. DPOY type of candidate. In last year, yeah, at least at a stretch of the season, throughout 30 of those games last year that he played, he was a DPOY caliber player. And then you have Norman Powell, one of the best perimeter players on the whole entire team. And then you have Kawhi Leonard. Need I say more about Kawhi Leonard? We know who
Right.
Kawhi is.
Right.
So I think that type of motivation. And Chris Dunn, I can't forget about him too. Chris Dunn, great defender. So being around all these guys, going up against them in practice, you have to play defense too. And I feel like that has propelled him too as well on this Clippers team to be a little bit more of a complete player. I think this is the most complete we've seen Harden, like the most complete version of him as a basketball player. Obviously, the scoring, it's not at his peak anymore. We saw the man put up 35 plus points in the whole entire season, the greatest scoring season in the history of the NBA.
Absolutely.
So, I think reinventing himself on this Clippers team, spreading the ball around, he has the tools to do it. This might be the best roster James Harden's ever had, besides that one run where they lost after being up 3-2 to the Warriors. This might be the best squad because you can't really say the Nets because Kyrie didn't play much. He didn't play much. Durant was really the only one.
Exactly.
So you hope to see, at least at this level with Harden, I want to see him get one, bro. I really, really do. I want to see him win a championship. I think that would solidify him a little bit more as far as one of the best shooting guards or guards to ever play the game. He just doesn't have that ring, and I know it's a team accomplishment, but
Right.
he played well against the Celtics. He's played well against good teams all year. So yeah, I mean, I'm always rooting for James Harden. I've always been kind of harsh on him because he didn't play defense, but now that he's playing defense on this Clippers team and he's got a good sporting cast, like the sky really isn't the limit for them. They could, although we do see what the Thunder are doing with no Jalen Williams right now. I just
Right.
they might go
They're
back to back.
ridiculous.
They
Yeah.
might go back to
Might.
back. If Kawhi can't stay healthy, I think the Clippers really don't have much of a chance against a team like the Thunder. But I think that they can beat the Nuggets. I think that they can beat the Rockets. I do think that they can beat the Rockets for sure. I think the Rockets don't have enough 3-point shooters on their team, which you need to be able to space the floor. Unless Amen Thompson somehow takes a leap this year, I couldn't see that happening. So I'm hoping that they stay healthy. I'm hoping that they keep this stride going as far as playing at a high level with their stars and the role players playing at a high level offensively and defensively all around, because somebody needs to beat this Thunder team because they are looking fucking scary, dog.
No,
And
they are.
Caruso's been injured too, bro.
Right.
So they haven't even had a full squad and they are wiping the table. So
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they're scary. They're scary. I mean, the last couple of years, I tell you, man, honestly, all it really took it was trading Josh Giddey. That's all it really did, And it's not to say not to knock on Josh Giddey, but to get a guy like Caruso, a guy that is a more impactful defender. He can get guys involved. He can score when he wants to and whatnot. But especially defensive end, that's what they really needed. And Josh Giddey himself has thrived in Chicago, along with the likes of Nikola Vucevic as well. That little tandem right there. It was a win-win for both teams. Naturally, the Bulls right now for themselves are more on the rise this year. Now they're starting to put it all together. The Thunder have been established, and I don't see anybody taking it right now. But I'm saying, at least you're taking the throne from them. You got Jokic and Denver; they're doing well. But until they prove us otherwise, right now it's the Thunder against everybody else in the West. So so hopefully the likes of James Harden also, with this Clippers team, especially now with Brad Beal being out and Kawhi Leonard still having his injury woes. Let's see what happened out west, But I tell you, the Celtics gave him a good fight on Sunday, and they came out with the win. Again, they were up by at one point of just about 20 points. James Harden led the comeback, and quite frankly, hey, Celtics pulled it out, but at the same time, it could have went any other way, really.
It could have
on defense, So good win for them on Sunday. Obviously, Sunday was 2 days ago. They did play tonight. They did play the Nets. And with that being said, chat. That being said, let's talk about this shit real quick, guys. The vibes, cuz again,
shout out Terrence Mann right there in the picture, Lowell legend.
Exactly, Terrence Mann, man. A Mass legend. Shout out to BABC. Shout out to Lowell Mass. 113.99 final. Terrence Mann, didn't come up with the dub against his hometown squad, man. Tough for him, but
I would love to see him on our team, man. His game fits our team.
Oh, definitely. No, I like his game. Home. That's a fact. I like his game. He plays defense. He might not be, the most impactful scorer, but when he does get an opportunity to score, he can put up points, but he does it everywhere else on the court, whether it's defense, getting guys involved. I like him. I've always have. Even when he was on BABC, he was, watching him play in person, he was smooth. He was a dog. He was a dog, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, Chad, 113.99 final, obviously. As you see right here, Browns 29 lift the Celtics. So we already know how many points Jaylen Brown scored. 29 points, 9 of 19 shooting, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. Derek White chipped in with 15 off 6 of 15 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Typical defensive presence right there from Derek White. Peyton Pritchard, 22 points, 6 of 16 shooting, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Anthony Simons ended up with 11 points. He actually was held scoreless in Sunday's game against the Clippers. Nice way for him to come back. Even though it was only 11, it was much needed 11 points, especially during the scoring run that he had early on in the game. So that was a plus. And Josh Minott off the bench this game finished with 10 points, 3 of 4 shooting, and he did have 4 rebounds as well. Jordan Walsh as another one. Him and Kata combined for 10 points. Jordan Walsh only took 2 shots. Obviously made both of them. It doesn't really show on the stat sheet, but he was playing defense as well. I know you don't see the blocks and the steals, but he did give some great minutes. Even though he only played 11 minutes, it was still impactful right there. And Neemias Queta with the 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Can't go wrong from him right there. I know we started with the Celtics today. We usually start with the losers. I had to start with the Celtics. I like the night that they played, and we'll get into also with how the game actually was, because me and Amari watched it. It was a little bit ticky-tacky. We'll get into that.
It was.
After
no doubt about that.
No, facts. After the Nets stats, it wasn't really much from the Nets. We don't really give a fuck about the Nets, no bullshit. But Michael Porter, 25 points. Exactly, indeed.
Yep.
Man, I swear to God, yeah.
Trash ass team. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. That's why I really don't want to read these stats, but I got to give them a little bit of respect to read their stats. But only one that really did shit, obviously. Michael Porter Jr., 25 points, 8 of 16 shooting, so he shot 50%. From the field, 50% from 3, 4 of 8, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Yeah, it's Michael Porter Jr.'s team, but again, there's not really much else besides him. Terrence Mann, the Mass native, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Nick's Claxton, excuse me, finished with 7 and 11, 1 and 9 shooting from the field. Tough game by him. Noah Clowney with 13 points. Igor Demon, the rookie, 12 points off 4-10 shooting, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Zaire Williams off the bench had 12 points off 4 of 11 shooting. And Dayron Sharp, I'm gonna get into Dayron Sharp in a little bit, but 16 points, 7 to 10 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Good stats by him. Good stats by him. I got a little story about Dayron Sharp.
Shit.
I got a little story about Dayron Sharp. After me and Amari, talk about this game and kind of really how it went. Yeah, we'll I'm gonna dive into Dayron Sharp, no cap, because that nigga right there, I got a little story for y'all. But in the meantime, Mr. Scott, in terms of how this game was played, and we kind of talked about it even a little bit while the game was going on, especially you. We're chatting about it. Tell me about the fouls in this game, because the last time, it seems like when they played the New York Knicks early this year, a few weeks ago, they had a lot of turnovers and a lot of fouls. Why is it that when they went back to New York to play their crosstown rival, it seemed the same shit was going on today, especially against a sucky team like this? What the fuck was going on in there?
I don't know. The Knicks, see, here's the thing about the Knicks. Everything's cool. The defense is great. You can dress it up however you want to.
Right.
Mikal Bridges is a choke artist. We saw that last year. OG Anunoby is so limited. Like, those two are so limited on offense. You can see how much they're hurting without Jalen Brunson.
Right.
It's very clear Jalen Brunson runs the offensive ship, and without his gravity in terms of just playmaking, scoring, driving to the basket, dribble penetration, all that stuff, you can tell that this Knicks team, and Karl Anthony Towns, I've tried to defend him so many times, and I can't anymore. It's just extremely hard to defend Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh,
that's why you
absolutely.
see teams like the Nets and some of these other teams making it a close game with the Knicks, because this team offensively, it's a one-dimensional offense, and if Jalen Brunson isn't out there, you see how different it is with Deuce McBride and Josh Hart running the point. And not to say they're bad basketball players. I'm not saying McBride and Hart are bad basketball players. They're just not Jalen Brunson. And then you look at this Nets team. The reason why the Nets have had some close enough quarters, enough to stay in it in some of these games and haven't really gotten blown out too crazy, is because they have to move the ball. They really don't have a choice. Michael Porter Jr. is also a pretty one-dimensional offensive player. He doesn't really make well. He doesn't really know when to pass in certain situations. He doesn't drive to the basket a lot either. That's not really his strength. So I think with having to spread the ball and everybody touching the ball, like, this Nets team has found a way to keep themselves in games because there's no clear-cut best player on this team. You could tell me Michael Porter Jr., but I just think he's the best clear-cut scorer.
Right.
I think Nicholas Claxton's probably the most important player. He's been there with some experience. He plays defense. You feed him the ball, pick and roll, or you feed him in the post, he can score. But I just don't think that they have an identity. And I think that that's why they're playing so free, and more free than they've played in these past recent years. So a guy like Dayron Sharp too, he's a good player, but he's a better defensive player than I'd say an offensive player. And also there's no Cam Thomas. So when Cam Thomas comes back, that's when I feel like, Cam Thomas is a great scorer, but then again, it's the same story with MPJ. It's like they're going to have to find a way to coexist. And I think that'll be the downfall of this Nets team going through the rest of the season when Cam Thomas comes back. That'll probably be the downfall of this team. But right now, they're playing so together, and right now, they're playing so well in the sense that there's no identity. They're playing free, and they're just going out there trying to win games. Michael Porter Jr., yes, he's putting up a majority of the shots, but of course, he's obviously the best shooter.
Right.
And he's an NBA champion. So, of course, they're going to give him a little love. They didn't pay him all that money to come there and do nothing. So, it's interesting to see the Nets and the Knicks moving forward. Honestly, the Knicks have been choke artists since the 1970s. They had John Starks, Patrick Ewing, even when they had Allen Houston, just choke artists of a team always. And I don't think that's really changed. And Jalen Brunson is really good. It looks like he wants to stay there. I don't think he has a problem being in New York. He's getting paid.
Right.
He's with his best friend. You
Mhm.
know, two of his best buddies from college. You know, DiVincenzo might even end up over there somehow, some way. Who knows?
Right.
You
He might
know,
go back. Facts.
he might. He could
Mhm.
possibly very well end up there. And you know, I think it's just you look at this Knicks team and you look at this roster, dude, and it's just sad how they just can't seem to put the ball in the basket in different ways. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
And you know, you saw the other night, Carl Anthony Town. Like I didn't get that last second shot from Deuce McBride. That's
Mhm.
probably another problem I have. There's no guy you trust outside of Jalen Brunson to take the last shot.
Right.
Yeah, Deuce McBride is taking a left-hand runner to go win, which he sold on that layup.
No, for
It
sure.
he looked decently open enough on that layup where he could have hit that layup. And Carl Anthony Towns should have gotten the ball in the first place. I'm sorry. You should have found a way to run an action. It's not Tom Thibodeau anymore. I forget who the coach is, but
It's oh my God, Mike.
Mike
Mike Brown.
Brown.
Mike Brown.
Okay,
Mike
okay,
Brown.
yeah. Okay. Once you said Mike, I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So, you know, Mike Brown, it's like you have to run some sort of action to get either Bridges in my if I'm the coach, I need to run an action to get Bridges open for a two,
Mhm.
or get the ball in his hand so he can take a couple dribbles to get himself in the mid range because that's his best attribute.
Right.
And then or you find a way to feed the ball to Carl Anthony Towns so he
Mhm.
doesn't have to get it off a rebound and shoot a fadeaway, which he
Right.
almost made. But that's a tough shot, dude. That's a
Mhm.
very hard shot to hit. Running away, fading away from the basket, and he almost made it. So that Cat is not being utilized in the right way, and he's also just so soft, dude. Dribble
Right.
drive penetration. He doesn't want to go to the basket. Bro thinks
Mhm.
he thinks he's Mikal Bridges or he thinks he's
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson. He's
Yep.
always out on the perimeter. So, you know, it's interestingly enough a problem in New York when it comes to the coaching aspect, putting them in the right positions to win. And honestly, Joe Mazzulla right now, the way he's coaching the Celtics team, like you look at the Celtics team and tonight, no three chucking really.
Right.
You saw dribble drive penetration, easy buckets, get the ball to Garza, get the ball
Absolutely.
Pritchard getting in. And I like the fact that lately, we were a little bit harsh on Pritchard, obviously a couple times on
Oh,
Bay
for
State
sure.
Media and here.
Mhm.
But I think now he's kind of grown into that role where he has to facilitate. And him and Derek White are the 1-2 punch that have been facilitating the offense these past 3 games.
Mhm.
And I think Simons, it is.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Because the mic messed up. Oh, can't unmute you yet. Oh, I think your mic is disconnected. I think it disconnected by mistake. Okay, there you go. You're back. You're back. Yeah, yeah.
All right, awesome. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you're good.
so you look at that situation and you look at Simons, like you just hope that Simons continues to get these types of minutes and
Mhm.
continues to try to find his way into the starting lineup. But obviously you can't sit Derek White. But if Pritchard keeps playing like this and facilitating the offense and really finding guys to get open, he's making the smart plays. He's not really the one turning the ball over. I don't know when
Right.
Jalen Brown's gonna get a left hand. It's getting
Right.
fucking egregious. I don't know how
Right.
many times he lost the fucking ball tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I feel
something to
you. I feel
definitely
you. No,
look at.
no, exactly. Because even with Jalen Brown, again, when you look at Jalen Brown as a whole, the first thing you're gonna look at is the points, right? You're gonna see the 29s, the 28s, the 35s. You're gonna see the 41s that he dropped earlier. Like you're gonna see that, like, oh, it was a great game. But if you actually watch the game, and especially if you look at the turnovers, some of it is attributed to bad passes, but everybody has bad passes during these games, so it happens. But when it comes to him actually dribbling the ball and him getting the ball knocked away from him and then having to get the ball back, I'm telling you, for the last 10 years, it's the same shit
Mhm.
over and over and over again. And it's like you said, when the fuck are you going to get a left hand? That's it. The only weakness to Jalen Brown's game right now, truthfully, is not having a left hand and free throw shooting. That's it.
Playmaking,
That's it.
playmaking too.
And playmaking too. Like if he had and that's three right there. So if he and you can improve on all three. And quite frankly, in year 10, you should have improved on this by year 5, year 6 when you've really started being acclimated. And
I
it
think
seems
Tatum stunted his growth.
he probably did. He
I
probably
think
did.
Tatum, once we got Tatum, I think the idea of Brown being the number one guy was all out the window
Oh, for
because
sure.
of because of how young Tatum was and how great he was playing. Nigga dunked on LeBron his first year in the playoffs. Like, bro,
Right.
how many niggas can say they dunked on LeBron and
Not
chest
many.
bumped him? Not many.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
you look at the way he was playing too. Now you saw his progression, right? The progression you just said with Jaylen Brown.
Hmm.
Tatum took that leap actually before the championship year when they played the Warriors. He
Yeah.
took that leap after the Warriors that season. And that offseason, he really worked on passing, moving the ball, when to pass, when to
Right.
drive. Yes, we can say Tatum's shot IQ is the one thing that hasn't improved,
Right.
but I can live with the shot IQ.
Right.
If you can move the ball and you can be a 28 7 and 8 player
Hmm.
because you're so good at moving the ball and you're so good at playing defense. Because let's be real, Jaylen Brown is a great defender, but now you look at him without Tatum, and you're really seeing the difference between Tatum and Brown. You're really
Exactly.
starting to see it. And I know a lot
Exactly.
of Celtics fans, including myself, sat here and said Brown was better for a couple years. And
Hmm.
I completely obviously was wrong about that because looking at this now with the ball in his hands, he just, it's his head's down. He goes to make one move, dribbles twice with his left to go back to his right hand
Right.
every time, and they know what he's gonna do, and it's either a spin at the elbow or I'm gonna two-step drop step and go up, and it's like you have to have some sort of arsenal or some sort of ability to dribble enough in case you get in trouble, dribble yourself out. I hate the fact that this nigga picks up the ball all the time. Bro, all the
All the
time. He's
time.
picking
Yeah.
up the ball all the time. And
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you're in no man's land at the elbow. The moment you get to the elbow, at that point, you either dribble drive through or you pass or you make it to the basket. It's one of the three. And
Right.
he's always either picking it up and turning to look for somebody and they're not there, or he's leaving his feet to make a pass. And it's like, bro, this is like grade school stuff, bro. Like it's like grade school shit. And I know
Oh,
we're
for sure.
talking about the NBA, but like as someone who played guard their whole life, like my coach was like, you pick up that ball at the elbow or you pick up that ball where you're not supposed to under the basket, you're in trouble because you're passing to someone who doesn't even have the IQ or the handle enough to move themselves like you do. You have
Hmm.
to be the one to move with the ball to be able to do that. And Brown, if you're going to be the alpha until Tatum comes back, and we want to have Tatum come back, and we're going to make the playoffs,
Right.
you have to be able to do these things. And when Tatum
Exactly.
comes back, you could go back to just scoring. That's cool. When Tatum comes back, and if Tatum is in a shell of himself, beautiful. Let's roll. But like at this point, Jaylen Brown, bro, you need to somehow figure out how to move the ball better. You need to get a left hand and stop picking up the ball at the goddamn elbow. Please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, if he can just try to work on that, and if Missoula can get in his head, if he hasn't already, to do that, one, it puts everybody else around him in a lot better position. And two, even for himself,
Hmm.
if he actually just keeps the ball on the ground, while he's dribbling, at least to either get to the basket or a pull up, it's a lot better. But
Yep.
once you pick up the ball and you have guys, trying to smack at it or whatever, play defense on you, and nobody else is really open for a good shot, you're in trouble. You
Yeah.
are 100% in trouble. So, again, even with that, it's still early in the year, and I'm glad the Celtics are over 500 now for the first time this year, now at 8-7. He's
Hmm.
done some good things. He's done a lot of good things, but as much as he's done good, you've seen the Jaylen Brown that you've had for the last 10 years. You're still seeing it, and it's one of those things also. It's like, will it ever improve? Maybe not. Or if it does
It
improve
might. It might
slightly,
not.
yeah, exactly. Or if it improves slightly, it'll be, a little more when Tatum comes back, because at least there's less pressure off him. But for right now, nigga, you the man. And we've said it countless times on here. We probably said it. It's probably been 10, 12 lives of Celtics basketball so far this year. Said the same
Hmm.
thing every fucking time. Nigga, you're the man. If you ain't the man, who else is going to be the man? It's you. Come on, bro. You
Yep.
feel me? You feel me? And now,
Yep.
since we on the topic of Jaylen Brown, let me chat. I just want to show this picture because this Jaylen Brown so far, this year, he's had a few incidents. He's had a few incidents
Yeah.
regarding his hair, right? Nigga, go back to this, bro.
Yeah.
Go back to it. You know, you should have never cut your hair, bro. You should have just stuck with the braids, nigga. No bullshit.
That shit was too tight for his dome.
I guess so, nigga. Because every time I'm looking at his head now, nigga, you know, I'm the nigga looking like obviously he's a grown man, but he's looking like nigga. He looking like Pops, nigga.
Yep.
Like you should have just kept the hair. Nigga.
Looking like his dad.
No bullshit. And you know, shout out to his dad. His dad's in deep trouble right now. So, but with the cut that he does have, he is looking like his dad in the mugshot. Respectfully, he is. He is, and it's not to knock on his dad. It's not to knock, but truthfully, JB, you should have just kept the hair. You should have just kept the hair. No bullshit. Or even so, if you didn't want the braids, you know, you should have got a little low cut. You know what I'm saying? Like at least keep some hair, because that spray on shit, nigga. Oh my god, nigga.
He was leaving marks on niggas' jerseys.
Exactly. It's been like 2-3 weeks since we've seen the last of it. We're gonna see
OG
more.
Anunoby type shit.
Exactly, bro. Like, come on, bro. And speaking. So, you know, JB, you know, that's all I have to say about you tonight. Good game by you. But the next victim tonight, because no bullshit, I got a little story to tell. And I'm gonna keep this guy off the screen. Mr. Day'Ron Sharpe. This is the only nigga, and I'm talking about, and there's niggas on 2K that have Zens. They shit on niggas. That's fine. This is the only pure nigga that actually shitted on me in 2K. I could not stop Day'Ron Sharpe. It was just a regular Wednesday afternoon, almost a year ago. I was on 2K. Lord and behold, I'm in the fucking, the proving grounds, and I'm playing this nigga one-on-one, trying to lock this nigga up. Couldn't. Nigga was too big. Pause. He was bigger than me. Pause again. But, you know, Day'Ron Sharpe is freaking, you know, whatever build he is, 6'9", 6'10", whatever. It's his player. Looks just like him. He could shoot. He could drive. I'm like, bro, who is he? I didn't even know it was him until I looked at his name. It said Day'Ron Sharpe with a star on his face. With a star on, but not by his name. And I'm like, you know what? This looked like Day'Ron Sharpe for real. I'm playing with my boy. He's like, nah, bro, that's actually Day'Ron Sharpe. He's shitting on you. I texted that nigga on PlayStation Network. I said, bro, how do you do it? He texted me back. He said, it's my player for real. And left it at that. I said, all right, bro, I want to see you shit in an NBA game. He did well tonight, but nigga, I haven't really seen you shit like that. Only tonight? You gotta make it every fucking night. I want to see that from you, bro.
Right.
Come on, bro. Come on, Day'Ron, nigga. Enough with that tonight. No bullshit, chat. I tell you. Shout out to Day'Ron Sharpe. That nigga, you know, until tonight was only nice on 2K.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Yep.
Day'Ron Sharpe.
I hate playing against Michael Porter Jr. too, 2K.
I'm telling you, Michael Porter Jr. too. Yeah, I know. Somebody said something about him. I think it was either on Reddit or on YouTube. It was something, but they ended up playing against him. And mind you, with these NBA niggas, it's their actual player. You feel me? It's their actual dude that they're playing with. And somebody said the same thing. He's like, damn, why Michael Porter Jr. playing a whole lot better on 2K than he is in real life? I'm like, oh, nigga, it's a game. That's one. And also, they make the game. They make all these NBA niggas in the park. You know, my career, my player. Like they make them
99s. Yep,
99s immediately
off rip. That nigga Paul George. I don't know if you saw Paul George playing with Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, he did.
Oh my god, bro. Paul George is just fucking gross at 2K. I'm like, yo, I would never want to go up against that nigga. I don't care how many rec games. I would never want to go up against that nigga for no amount of money. Hell no. That nigga was straight cooking, like old Paul George throwback. He was like Pacers Paul George in the game. I was like, bro, this is crazy, man. That's why I went up against who was it the other day, bro? I want to say it was Mick Jenkins. It was a rapper. I can't remember if it was Mick Jenkins or JID, but I was in their lobby. Bro, these rappers be nice too. I seen A Boogie. Yeah, I seen A Boogie in a lobby on YouTube. That nigga A Boogie is gross at 2K. These rappers are nice at 2K, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Mick Jenkins or JID. I can't even fucking remember now. It was like 4 days ago, bro. But that shit was crazy.
I'm telling you,
it was in the middle of the night.
Are crazy. They are.
Yep. A lot of them are former ballers. You
No,
know?
oh no, for sure. And A
Yeah.
Boogie's tall as shit, so he was definitely balling back in the day. No
Yeah, what's
bullshit.
A Boogie's like 6'4", right?
Yeah.
That nigga's tall as
I
hell.
seen him in person. I'm like, yo, nigga, you ever thought
Yeah.
about having basketball as a career, Cash? No
Yep.
bullshit.
He
That's what I
probably
said.
did because you know them New York niggas, bro.
Oh yeah, no, he was probably balling at Rucker Park,
Yep.
doing the usual probably. But even in high school, he's probably balling a little bit too. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody in New York can ball, so you know.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. There's a lot of good ones out there, and there's a lot of good ones in the NBA and college. Like New York produces a lot of talent. Trust.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
St.
So,
John's, Rutgers, all that, you
oh
know.
hell yeah, hell yeah.
Jersey. Yep.
Syracuse, hell yeah. Shout
Mhm.
out to Jim Boeheim, the former. He was a great coach. Shout out to Melo. You feel me? All them niggas. Them
Yep.
niggas.
Jim Boeheim
Hakeem
was my
Warwick.
favorite coach growing up.
No bullshit. No bullshit. Yeah, no,
Yep.
I went up when I was younger. I went up against what is it? Jim Boeheim Jr. I seen him at a tournament.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, it was man. I looked at him. I'm like, no bullshit. No, that kid can ball. And then obviously he ended up playing at Syracuse. I'm like, yeah, no,
Yep.
he's all right.
Yeah, he was nice. Yeah, he's nice, bro.
He was. I think he ended up being in the G League for a little bit. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he actually was on the Knicks G League. So at least hey, with connections, at least he got the ball up a little bit. Hopefully he's probably balling overseas right now. He's our age, so he's probably doing a little something.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 1,000%, 1,000%.
Shout out to the chat too. Shout out to DJ. He said Nick Claxton is a stick. Yeah, he sure was tonight. The nigga couldn't do shit tonight.
Yeah,
bro.
he couldn't. That's the one thing too. He hasn't gained weight. So.
Oh no, he hasn't. No, he's and that's the thing. Like if Nick, see, that's the, and I will say real quick before we move on from the Celtics Nets this game. I will say real quick, Nick Claxton overall, like Amari said, if he just gained some weight and actually played with more aggression,
yep.
If he could be a top 10. Maybe even it could be a stretch. Maybe even a top 5 center in the league because the talent there. It's just the aggression ain't there. The aggression, and he gets bullied a lot too. He got bullied.
He does.
He does.
There's not much he can do either.
Oh no, for sure. And that's the thing. Like it's only his game. Obviously, is in the paint. He can shoot a little bit, but even his shooting, and it's not that great either. It's like it's one of those things. It's like you're not going to win many games with him shooting 1-9. In games that they have to win, or they should win, it got to be other guys like MPJ, Cam Thomas when he comes back, Terrence Mann, even Day'Ron Sharpe off the bench, maybe even Day'Ron Sharpe in a starting role with him, the two big lineup, that's going to be effective. But if it's just him down there and manning the paint on nights where there's a dominant center or a dominant presence in the paint, whether it's center or power forward, they're fucked because this kid tonight and a guy like Kada, even though he has the body, you should have been able to take advantage. He didn't do shit.
Nope.
And that just goes to show, like, obviously, chat, the Celtics do play the Nets again on Friday at home to another NBA Cup game. That just goes to show if he's going 1 for night on a night like tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I'm telling you, Friday night might be a lot tougher. It might be a lot tougher. If he can't get it going early, yeah, facts. Oh hell yeah, DJ Jokic would drop 50 on. he just
dropped 50. Yeah.
Me and Amari watched the nigga just drop 50. No bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, literally. Yep.
That's effortless for that nigga. And with him and the rebounds and assists, 50 points, 10 and 10, 70 combined, nigga. That's
he got fucking robbed at MVP last year too.
Hell yeah. I'm telling you, he already got 2. He should have got 1 last year. Quite frankly, he could have even won it the last 4 years in a row. Really.
Yeah, it's just voters fatigue. It's the problem.
Exactly. They want to see a different guy. You can win it 2 in a row, but they don't want to see him winning 3 in a row.
I can't hate on SGA winning it because he won a championship. That's the only reason why I can't really take anything away from him. I think Jokic should have won it, but voters fatigue. He was the first center to average a triple-double, dude. Nobody's talked about that. Exactly. It was literally just let's just give it to SGA. And mind you, SGA didn't have Chet throughout a lot of the first part of the season last year.
Exactly.
He was dropping 40 bombs, 50 bombs. So at that point, the first 2 months, he had just run away with it at that point, the first 2 months of the season.
Absolutely.
So, but I think Jokic, I still think he's the best player in the league. You ask me, Jokic is 1.
I agree.
Some will say SGA because he just came off of a championship, but I'm not taking anything away from SGA. I just think that Jokic's ability to literally go out there every night and put up a triple double
Mm,
is more valuable to me than someone who's going to go out there and just score 30 and give you 6, 7. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean? 7,
Yeah, I'm
6
hip. Yeah,
point. You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I'm hip.
30, 36 and 7 is great. It's elite. Don't get me wrong. You should be in the MVP discussion, but a guy who's putting up a triple double every night and you're a center, and then Jamal Murray was also hurt for a portion of the year last year. It's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought he got robbed last year, but I can't hate on SGA finding out a way to manipulate the game and the rules, just like James Harden.
Exactly.
He,
Exactly.
like, SGA's baby Harden. Even if you guys watch Starting Five chat,
Mm,
me and Nero, we've been watching Starting Five, and I'm telling you, Harden's on there with SGA. They're on this season together,
hmm
and even SGA said he models his game after James Harden because James
Exactly.
Harden found a way to manipulate the game, and
hmm
that's why I think you can't take a lot away from Harden and
mm
SGA because yes, you can call them free throw merchants or whatever you want to call it,
Oh, for sure.
but at the peak of their powers, which you're seeing SGA at the peak of his, because SGA has been in the league, mind you, he was on the Clippers
Yeah.
first, but people
Yeah.
forget that they
hmm
traded that man away.
Right.
So can you imagine if the Clippers never traded him away? Granted they probably would have never gotten Harden and Kawhi out of it.
No,
But
actually, you know what's even crazier about that is the reason they trade. He was trade bait for Paul George is because Kawhi actually didn't want to play with him. That's the
th-
fucked up part. That's the
yeah,
fucked up part out of all this.
yeah,
Their young player who they just drafted in the first round got rid of it. They got rid of him for Paul George and a whole bunch of draft picks, right? Because Kawhi didn't like his style of play. Because it was going to take away from him and Paul George, and that's fucked up. That just shows you the selfishness right there.
yep,
It's fucked up because one, you would have had a guy for the future, a young
yep.
guy who's fairly healthy. You don't see him getting
MVP
hurt.
like player.
MVP like player. And quite frankly, that big three right there, I know Paul George is long gone from the Clippers, but that big three right there for the next few years at that point, because that happened right before the 2019-20 season,
Yep.
that could have set you up from at least possibly winning a playoff series or two,
Mm-hmm.
getting to a championship. Because the way how SGA looks right now, imagine that three together back then. If you would have allowed him to develop, wow, that's a hard. But that big three right there, ooh, that's actually scary. And they're all in their prime, healthy.
Yep.
That's scary as shit.
And
Scary.
we don't know what Harden would have done either if SGA had
Exactly. If you
stayed.
ended up over there, right?
We have no idea where Harden would be right now. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a good point you made too, because I was gonna say almost the same thing. I actually didn't know Kawhi didn't want to play with him.
Yeah.
I thought it was because they just wanted Paul George more, and they
Uh,
were like, let's just give this kid up. But I actually never knew that. So
yeah.
that's actually crazy because like
That,
you would think Kawhi, like he's a team guy, you know what I mean? Like
uh-huh.
he's this very quiet guy, and like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he was able to dictate that situation, like I'm sure Steve Ballmer and them regret that
Oh,
for
for sure.
sure.
For
I
sure.
1,000% because Steve Ballmer really cares about that basketball team, minus
Absolutely.
his outside
Right.
activities. Minus his outside activities. For anyone watching, do not watch that Clippers show that's on HBO. It's actually fucking horrible. But
Oh, for real? Ooh.
they be telling a lot, yeah, because it's it's like a parody show. Like it's actually so fucking horrible. I wasted my time watching the first 2 episodes. It was absolutely fucking garbage. But yeah, it's not worth the watch. But
That's tough.
they basically like made all these jokes about like Steve Ballmer's outside activities, but like
Uh,
they were actually very, very good at portraying like how much he cares about his franchise, like the organization, how
right,
much he
right.
cares about the top to bottom. So like he cares about the guy all the way at the top, the GM, and he
Mhm.
cares the president of basketball operations to all the way to the 12th man. He's at every single game. He's always investing into this company. So I think that it's sad to see that SGA wasn't on this Clippers team, but now he probably doesn't even think of that stuff because he just won a championship. And then
Right.
OKC has all these first round draft picks for like the next 6 years. Dude,
Yeah.
it's just fucked up. It's scary.
Exactly.
The Thunder
Exactly.
genuinely might, honestly, they could three-peat. Like
They
with the
could.
way the draft picks are set up, the way this team is playing, if they just keep playing their cards right, the rest of the league is gonna have to shift to them, kind of like how the rest of the league shifted to Kobe and Shaq. The rest of
Mhm.
the league shifted to You could even say the Celtics because they were like the first like real big three.
Oh, for sure.
And you could even say big four because of Rondo. So
Exactly.
you might not even be able to say three. Four,
Mm-hmm.
I think, would be a more valid point.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, they all made the All-Star team together. Shit, that is a big four.
Yep.
That's a big four.
Big
That is.
four.
And
And
quite frankly, nigga, they had a big five with Shaq if Shaq didn't get hurt.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Even though
we
he was a
won't even talk
tiny
about
bit
that
of a
today.
shell of himself, a tiny bit of a shell of himself. But
Exactly.
in comparison, this Thunder team, they have the 1-2 punch. They have a big three. I mean, Chet is playing out of his mind this year. He looks more aggressive. He's getting to the rim more, throwing up more hook shots. He's getting in the post. Like, that's what you want to see from your power forward. Hartenstein, honestly, is one of the biggest glue guys on that team. I love J-Dub, SGA, and the Chet big three because their skill sets are all so different.
Oh, for sure.
SGA can score at all four. I like to
Levels.
say 5 level scorers because there's
Okay,
5
okay.
level scorers instead of
Right.
3. You got your 3-point, you got your 2-point, you got your drive to the basket, you got your post play, and then
Absolutely.
you got like kind of like the off the dribble game, being able to score anywhere or just being able to score off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Getting yourself open off the ball. So I think SGA being a 5 level scorer opens up a guy like J-Dub, who is a 3 level scorer. He
Oh,
can
for sure.
score at the 3, the mid range, and drive into the basket. Whereas Chet Holmgren, he's also a 3 level scorer, mid range, 3-point, and the post. So you take those 3 guys and putting them together was a beautiful thing. And I think that the supporting cast like Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, all these guys who they are not even concerned about scoring the basketball. They know they go get a steal, they go get a steal, they go get a block, they lock up somebody else, they go get their bench minutes. Their second unit is better than the Nets starting unit.
Oh, for sure.
Literally.
Yeah.
That like you think of the worst teams, their second unit is probably better than a lot of first units.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and even then, this is why I think the Celtics still have a chance. Because our rotation of 10 guys is what's going to get us either 7 or 8. I would like us to be 6 seed, but the way it looks right now, you got the Raptors, you got the Bucks, you got the Heat, you got the Pistons, you got the Cavs,
And the Knicks.
And then after that, it's kind of just like, yeah, like the Bull. Okay, actually, I'd say the Bulls. So that's a
Yeah, the
solid
Bulls
7.
right now. Yeah, facts.
I think the Bulls will go 5 to 7 range, depending
Mm.
on how the Raptors play for the rest of the season.
Right.
But you look at the comparison in terms of just bench on that team, bench on these other teams, how these second units play. I think that's the beauty of having this for the Celtics. Our second unit is a great unit.
Absolutely.
And I don't, losing Cornette sucked because I think Cornette would have been very, very fucking valuable. But
Oh,
we
for
had to
sure.
let him go. We had to let
Yeah.
him go. It's just money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For those who
Oh,
don't
for sure.
understand, we were
For
well
sure.
over the second apron. I think we're still also in not financial trouble, but there's still like a little bit of a question mark.
Yeah,
about
there's
how
still
that's-
limitations, especially now with Anthony Simon's contract that is for this year. For that, I know he'll be a free agent next year, so
Yep.
it'll go lower next year. But for right now, yeah, with his contract on the final year of his deal, he's still making a lot of money. Yeah.
Like you just said, you took the words right out of my mouth. Final year of his deal. So there's a little bit of more trouble on the back end there for this offseason. But I don't think you keep him to move him. Obviously, I think he's here to stay. I don't think he gets moved. So that would be obviously a good telltale sign for us going into next year. You get Simons off the bench, but once Tatum gets moved back into the lineup, it's really Peyton Pritchard and Simons go to the bench together. And then they're playing together on second unit. And even if Tatum comes back this year, they play together on the second unit. That's a lethal 1-2 punch. So
for sure. For sure. All it really is also, before we move on, in terms of what you just said, especially with Anthony Simons, if they just played him consistently, man, if you're gonna give him minutes where he's like tonight, he played 26 minutes. Great. That's what we like to see. You can't play him 26 minutes tonight, but then the game before only play him 11 minutes, and he wasn't in foul trouble. He couldn't get going. He scored 0 points. You can't be doing that. Like, you can't play him, 17 minutes and then play him 26. It has to be more consistent. Fuck the defense for right now. If there's one guy who's not that great on defense, but there's 4 other guys on the court that have, more advantages playing defense. It might not be the greatest, but at least can play some defense.
Right.
You can keep them out here. You can keep Simons out there to be a scorer. You don't have to relegate him because of his defensive flaws. And that is kind of hurting them also, because once he's in and he gets hot and you take him out, that's one less score. That's one less hot hand on the court. You have so and again, there's still trials and tribulations to start this year. That's
It's early.
It's early. So it's nothing to really, panic about. But at the same time, it's okay. You see what the kid can do.
Yep.
Use the nigga. He's right there.
I trust Mazzulla.
Right. So so even for Mazzulla, I mess with him there. He does make questionable decisions how he runs his team. It's with everybody.
Yeah,
but
the offense.
If he can do something right, exactly. If he can do something right, just let the kid cook when he's out there. Let him cook. Trust me, there's going to be nights where it ain't that great. There's not. But at least if you give him the opportunity, I'd much rather him have the opportunity now before a guy like Tatum comes back. When Tatum comes back, he'll still play, but that's your guy, obviously the guy you're going to relegate to get a lot of minutes, to play. It's how life will end up being. But for right now, while he's hurt, give him the opportunity while he's out here. Let him cook. Because when he actually cooks,
he's used to being a starter. So
exactly.
He's not used to the bench role, man.
Right.
He's not used to it at all. So you can kind of see. But I think that, it's funny what you said about his defense. I think his limitations were only in Portland because they were like, yo, honestly, they probably went out there and told him, yo, go score 20, 25 a night so you can so we can trade you. I don't think they really had any intentions on keeping him. Oh, but can you imagine, if when Dame comes back and all this other stuff, like now you don't have the second guy. And I like Shaedon Sharpe. Don't get me wrong. And for those of you that don't know, Portland Trailblazers are my second team. I used to play against my dad in 2K with the Portland Trailblazers since they had Brandon Roy. Like Brandon Roy was my guy growing up. I really liked his game. Loved Damian Lillard. So like I kind of fell in love with that squad. So like for me, I was hoping they could get the three-headed monster of Simons, Sharpe, and Damian Lillard, and you move Sharpe to the bench. You know what I'm saying? Or even move him at the three because he's athletic enough and plays defense well enough to play the three. You put him there at the three, and that three-headed monster would have been crazy. And I think, Simons needs to be used correctly enough to a point where we're looking at this guy and we're telling ourselves, okay, you know what? He's a starter. He's been a starter. Let's start him. Let's see what he does with starting minutes. If he can actually come up with some starting minutes and he can actually prove, okay, I belong in the starting lineup, that would be great. But right now, the way Pritchard has played the last 3 to 4 games, it doesn't look too promising, at least a little to the near future. But if Pritchard tails off again, I don't see why Simons doesn't start.
Absolutely. And no, it'll be a question. Trust, once Peyton Pritchard struggles a little bit, it might come more into fruition. But again, also it's Boston. Peyton Pritchard, especially with the guy that he has been the last few years, and even during the finals run when they played the Warriors, when he got in there, he had meaningful minutes. He's always been a guy that when he's in there, he's impactful, especially when it comes to scoring. In bunches, getting rebounds. For a guy his size, grabbing 10 rebounds tonight, and even rebounding games so far, that also that makes you like, all right. So if this guy has a tough shooting night, we know he'll be on the boards. We know he'll get guys involved, racking up assists like that right there, and even playing a little bit of defense. He's not, to talk about Peyton Pritchard's defense. He's not a bad defender. He's not. He's just short. Exactly. It's similar to IT. It's like you could try to play defense, but because of your size, not to say that you suck on defense, but it's a lot easier for a lot of these guys to take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's a lot stronger than IT. I think that's the difference.
For sure. Yeah.
Like he's just a lot stronger than IT. And the thing about IT was also playing on a hip injury at his peak. That's what people forget. That man's hip pretty much almost damn near fell off the bone for this city.
Oh, for sure.
And they got rid of him.
Him.
As Celtics fans, we'll never honestly for myself, I'll never get over that.
No, facts.
I won't.
Nice. And you didn't even want to bring him back when you had the chance to bring him back. When he wanted to come back, you said you didn't even want to. Wow, that's what hurt even more. That you had the opportunity to bring him back multiple times. And he begged to come back to Boston.
And then he scored like what? a 50 ball or 50 plus ball or 60 plus ball in a pro-am, and he
Mm-hmm.
was sitting in the stairwell crying, they gave up on me. They gave up on me.
Mm-hmm.
He eh, that type like seeing that type of stuff years later, it's like Pritchard, I pray they don't do that to him, dude.
Nah,
Like I don't
facts.
care what happens, like he's just so athletic, he's so quick, and he plays his role, and you hope that he could turn into at least 75% of what IT was, because you never know what the future is with this Celtics team, man. Because, Brad Stevens, I don't think that, going all in and getting Holiday, getting Porzingis, it paid off. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think if he were to do it over again in this future of how the team is going to go,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd pay people that money ever again.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
he'd want to develop Pritchard. He'd want to keep White, the core guys. And I think he'd want to develop Jay Walsh, who rough game for Jay Walsh tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't. We haven't really talked about Jay Walsh a little bit, but just to dive into Jay Walsh, just a quick second. Jay Walsh had a tough night tonight. 4 personal fouls quickly by the third period. Or excuse me, hockey in my brain. Third quarter, I should
Yeah.
say. And you know, I think we've stunted his growth a lot. He hasn't played much,
Mm-hmm.
and the the prototype of player, excuse me, the prototype of player that he is,
Yeah.
it's like Tatum and Brown, like in terms of size,
Mm-hmm.
skill set, ability to drive to the basket, ability to shoot the basketball off the dribble, anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
very similar skill set. So I think that we stunted his growth, and getting rid of JD Davison was kind of like head scratching.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you. I feel like we could use him right now with no Tatum. He's
Oh,
someone
for
that
sure.
definitely would have gotten minutes. G League MVP, was averaging 35 plus points a game in the G League. Like just killing dudes. So like, you know, I think that Missoula and Brad Stevens definitely have their heads at this table, looking at this year like a bridge year, and
Oh, for sure.
you're seeing a lot of the bridge play. So, but
Absolutely.
we love this
Absolutely.
team.
No, for sure. For sure. And again, it's a lot different of a team this year. Again, without, the guy. We don't even
Hmm.
have to make the name. But everybody know who's tuning in.
Yeah,
And even if you don't if you know Boston, the Boston Celtics, you know who's not out there. You know who's just sitting on the bench every game, watching his team, helping his team, coaching, you know what I'm saying, at the moment, because he can't be on the
right,
court. It's a
right.
lot different of a team. It is. So,
Yeah, he is
kind of
out
just
there.
have to.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. He's been on the bench a lot, which I love to see.
Oh, for
He
sure. For
has. You're
sure.
right.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
telling
glad
you,
you
and
mentioned
he,
that.
he doesn't want to miss time. He still wants to be with the team. So you love to
Hmm.
see that from your star player. He still wants to be there with the guys, helping them any way they can, being
Yep.
there, being another voice. Energize them. Talk to them. That's what you need from right now. And you can, even though the team right now, again, they're 8-7, not a bad place, but there's a lot of it's a lot of turmoil, a lot of differences on this team right now. I mean,
Right.
shit, I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, it's a that's what's called somewhat of a rebuild year, but shit, I'll take it so far.
Well, of course, we don't got a choice.
Exactly. You just got to sit
We
back
don't
and
got a
watch.
choice.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. But enough about that. Real quick, obviously, again, Celtics take on the Nets again Friday night in Boston. NBA Cup game, their first NBA Cup game in Boston. They're currently 1-1.
Yes.
So yeah, so let's see
We
what
might have
happens.
to see how much tickets are for that, brother.
I'm gonna see what's no, I might maybe
I'll have to
maybe
go on. I'm gonna have to go on Tick Picks tonight after we get off and see what's up.
Nah, facts. I'm gonna see what I'm doing Friday. No bullshit. I might have to. I
Yep.
might have to pop up for the one time. No bullshit,
Yep.
guys. You already know. Real quick before we get out of here, I wanted to. There was some stuff that happened today regarding the Red Sox. Actually,
Yes, I'm glad. Oh my god, I was praying while you were like moving on to the next thing. I'm like, I hope the Red Sox. Yes,
yes, yes.
yes.
Oh,
I've
and
been
by the
itching
way,
to talk about this.
before the Red Sox, real quick, DJ again. He said, "Bring Doc back to Boston."
Hell no.
As much as it would be kind of cool to see him back, it's kind of. I like where we're at right now. He did his time in Boston. He did his time in Boston. He don't need to come back.
No, no, no.
Keep him in Milwaukee and
Yeah.
Milwaukee right now for him and Giannis. It's a lot more cliquish right now. Right here in Boston, I don't know with this team. It would be right.
Yeah, no, he can stay over there because
He can. He can.
But yes, I'm excited about this Red Sox talk. Yes.
You already know. So real quick, to show all y'all, I know I just have the Red Sox Twitter on the screen. Shout out to Tyler Milliken. Real quick for y'all. So pitcher Luis Guerrero was traded to the Tampa Bay Rays for Tristan Gray. Chris Murphy, the relief pitcher, left-handed relief pitcher, I should say, was traded for to the White Sox for catcher Ronnie Hernandez. Alex Hope, excuse me. He's another pitcher. He was traded for catcher Luke Heyman, who's actually good friends with Roman Anthony. And then finally, Brandon Bernardino was traded to the Colorado Rockies for Braden Ward. Shane Drohan, David Sandlin, and Tyler Uberstein, all pitchers, were added to the 40-man roster. And Nathaniel Lowe and Josh Winkowski, Daniel Lowe, the first baseman, and Josh Winkowski, a pitcher as well, were both DFA'd to make room today. Shout out to Tyler Milliken for the information. Now, when it comes to what happened today and the guys who are now no longer on the roster, what do you make of this, Amari?
So, I think that Breslow is obviously, because remember, catcher is a little bit of an issue in our farm system. So I'm glad that at least that position, he actually went out there and he traded some guys who we have a log jam at some of those positions. So I'm like just okay with those small moves. In terms of farm system moves, this is really just farm system moves. You bring 3 of these guys up on the 40-man roster. Nathaniel Lowe gets DFA'd, which is rightfully so. Nathaniel Lowe's first 2 weeks was awesome when he was here, but then he just completely tailed off. He wasn't the same guy. So it's cool. I don't mind it. I don't know if you have any more news, so I don't want to break it with, if you say it. But did you see the trade rumors that were potentially a thing?
Oh, like the Jarren Duran and Wilyer Abreu?
Yeah. So I didn't know if you wanted to touch on that. But
no, you can touch on that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so trading Wilyer Abreu makes zero sense. There's nothing you could convince me as a Red Sox fan to tell me to trade the guy who was the best player in baseball for the first month of the season and then was arguably one of the best defensive outfielders, and he could have won a Gold Glove easily if he had stayed healthy. He did win it.
He won 2 straight. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Excuse me, chat. I'm sorry. It's been football, basketball, hockey for me, so I didn't pay attention to awards. But did Ohtani won MVP, right?
He did, yes.
And Aaron Judge, right?
And Aaron Judge, yep.
Okay, good. I was 2 for 2 on that. So, but Abreu winning a Gold Glove, like, who are you going to trade him for, dog? Like, at this point, like, my suggestion was PCA, but then I looked at PCA's batting numbers, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. He
tailed off in the second half of the year.
Yeah, his second half of the year was really bad, and I don't know if that's just because also Chicago tailed off as a whole, kind of the second half of the year. So for me, like, that might have been a result of the team itself tailing off. It might not have been just a pure individual thing, because if you really look at how the Cubs played for the whole entire first half of the season, holy shit, they were on fire. Like, they were the best team in baseball for the first, 30 games. So, exactly. You look at the situation, and Breslow, if you somehow find this on your airwaves when we make clips or do whatever, dog, don't trade this dude, please. Like, it just makes no sense to trade this guy. Duran, I can see on the other hand, because Jarren Duran, his skill set is what some teams need a lot, and we're lucky to have Jarren Duran. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and brag on Jarren Duran. It's a guy who's been through a lot. The Boston media is not tough and doesn't make it any easier on him.
Oh, for sure.
But for me, after watching Clubhouse from last year and some of the mental stuff he went through while being in the clubhouse, and the Rafael Devers situation and how standoffish he was with teammates and all this other stuff, Jarren Duran fits in very well with these young guys. Roman Anthony, Rafaela, and even Romy Gonzalez, Marcelo Meyer. Like, Romy Gonzalez, obviously, he is 28, I think, 27.
Yeah.
But him and Romy, they get along really well. That's, I think, those two guys are supposed to be kept together for those young guys because of their experience level and because of how long they've been here. And, in terms of just being in the MLB, because I know Romy Gonzalez, he's kind of new because he came from the Rockies, right? Or who did he come from?
The White Sox.
White Sox. Okay. Shit team. I'm sorry. But,
no, you're good.
So Romy Gonzalez was on a bad team. Now he comes to this team, makes the playoffs. Romy was great. I thought Romy was great. I don't know about other Red Sox fans. I've seen comments, actually, a lot of negative comments about Romy Gonzalez. I actually have no gripes about it. When Roman Anthony went out of the lineup, it was very clear that the spark of our lineup was gone. And that was a guy who could just drive in runs, keep these innings going. And he was a great base runner, too. Very smart base runner. apparently also, on that note too, you know, Bregman might opt out. So that situation, he hasn't officially opted out yet.
Really? Oh shit. Okay.
I
Okay.
don't, yeah, I don't think he's officially. It says he's most likely to. That's all I've seen. I haven't
Okay.
seen anything yet that it said he's actually opted out.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, just because
Mm-hmm.
obviously other sports have been in swing, so I don't know if I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody can correct me in the comments, please do. But I don't think Bregman has yet to opt out completely.
Mm-hmm.
It says he's most likely to, but I think that's dependent on Craig Breslow's moves. And you can see how aggressive he was today.
Right.
And if he continues that aggression at the major league level instead of the farm system level,
Mm-hmm.
you get a real second arm and you get a real number two pitcher. Giolito's stats were inflated in terms of win-loss and these other stats because of the defense and how good our defense was. One of the
Right.
best defenses in baseball, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I take what Giolito did enough with a grain of salt. Not with a grain of salt, but it's like he wants to be here. He said he wants to stay here. If you can find a way to upgrade outside of Giolito, please do it. Don't keep this guy here. I want Bayo to move up. He's young. I want Bayo to try and take that number two spot. Bring a guy here who's going to give him some actual pressure because I think Bayo should have been the clear cut number two last year. It should have been Giolito. And I
Right.
think Bayo's mindset probably got affected by being lower than Giolito when, he was a Yankee killer all season. He was playing very well and very, very important games. That's the key about Bayo, is Bayo
Mm-hmm.
played very, very well in important games. And I
Indeed.
think
Yep.
expounding on that confidence is huge for us as an organization because he is so young. He Rafaela and Abreu, he's friends with everybody on the team loves him. There's
Right.
nobody on the team, all these interviews, he's a very vibrant guy. He gets along. Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow love him. Like, that's a guy that you build around. That's a
Mm-hmm.
guy that you build forward with. And I think I'm okay with letting Giolito go. And we don't know what this Tristan Casas situation looks like either, because we don't know
Right.
if he's going to look like a shell of himself. But you
Mm-hmm.
look at his stats from when he was healthy in terms of batting, his hard hit contact percentage and all this other stuff. Shout out Spoke. If you guys don't know, Spoke is awesome at analytics. And, so is Nero. They've been getting me into a lot of the analytics and stuff. Tristan Casas' batting analytics aren't horrible. They're actually pretty good.
Right.
So I don't think defense is a problem with him either. I think it's just obviously a question of staying healthy. But Kyle Schwarber is also rumored. We're apparently aggressively pursuing Kyle Schwarber.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the rumor on Twitter among some pretty credible Twitter journalists or just journalists in general who get on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, because I know in the Twitter world, baseball is huge in the Twitter world, a
Oh
lot for
yeah.
reports and stuff. So that for me, like, that's a sign that we're going to be aggressive. We get Schwarber and we trade Cassis. I don't know who we would trade him for, but if we trade Cassis, it would be to fit another hole. Second baseman might be a problem because we can't trust David Hamilton,
Right.
especially offensively. We can't trust him. Defensively, we couldn't really trust him a lot either.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make sense to me why we would trade Abreu unless it's his replacement, and it's got to be somebody of equal value, which is going to be way harder to do.
Right.
And Duran, honestly, I love you, Jared Duran. It could be time to move on for you, bro. I mean, the
Yeah.
way you played in the playoffs in big moments and big games this past year defensively, it might be time for you to go, man. I'm sorry. I love you,
Right.
dude, and I love your skill set. You're a great base runner. You're fast. You're athletic, dude. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you swing on everything. The plate discipline is not always there. I just think that where we are now, if we can find a way to upgrade, he was rumored a lot this past season with the Padres
Mm-hmm.
and being traded there. I don't know if I'd want any of the pitchers really on the like Dylan Cease doesn't really like, he's a free agent, but like that was someone they wanted to trade Duran for. It's like I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't a good decision if they were
Right.
to do that. It was a rumor, so we don't know how much true that what really was.
No, for sure.
But I think if anybody's gonna go, the first one out the door is gonna be Jaron Duran.
I believe so too. And if you do, and the crazy thing is, like, if you were to trade him, you could get a decent haul. You could. I mean, and also it's like you could also look at a team that were to try to get. You'll definitely probably get some minor leaguers for sure. But you could get, depending on if the price is right, you could get a substantial major league player. And there was even I was even reading something. I want to say a couple days ago that, and I've said this before. Low key, I don't know why, but something really just tells me Jaren Duran, I hope not, but he could end up being a Dodger. He could end up being a Dodger some way, shape, or form. And quite
For who,
frankly,
though?
that's the only thing. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that, like, because I saw something about him, like a Dodger. I'm like, yeah, if you want to throw him in a Dodger trade, yeah, cool. But who would we get? We would
Because
like
who's out there and left?
Say it again.
Is it who's out there and left for the Dodgers? Is it Andy Paez?
He's in center. He's in center.
Center.
So
Okay.
that probably wouldn't work right now with Rafaela. If
course.
anything, it's funny. Somebody cooked up it was a BS trade, but they threw in Roki Sasaki. They threw in somebody. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if the Dodgers could want him, yeah, but to give up Roki Sasaki.
Nah,
yeah.
not after how this last playoffs just went. No way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No way.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
No
for
way.
him in the Dodger uniform, for his sake, at least he's back home. It would be cool to see because at least he goes back home fine. But we wouldn't get anybody substantial. We'll get fucked again. We got fucked in the Mookie Betts trade. We would get fucked again. So if you want to send him to the Padres, it got to be substantial. You might have to, if you're going to throw in one, major leaguer at the moment, you got to throw in Jeremiah Estrada. That's one guy you got to throw in. You're not
okay. That's a name you've mentioned a lot of times. Yep.
Exactly, and obviously you're not gonna throw in the kid that they just got from Mason Miller. They just got him. They're not gonna throw a guy like that. But if it has to be somebody substantial that has an arm, like a deadly arm, and if you put him in this system, especially you already know the fastball. Absolutely. But if Andrew Bailey can continue to unlock the off-speed pitches, that setup right there with him in front of Aroldis Chapman, and even with Garrett Whitlock, whether he's in the seventh inning or eighth inning, oof, that's
dangerous.
It's dangerous, and especially in the American League in general, where you have the high flyers, the high swingers. Oh man, that right there is tough. But it can't just be him. It got to be It got to be somebody else too. It has to be somebody else too. But even for Jaren Duran, also, if you want to throw him into the Joe Ryan trade, fine. Because at least his bat in Minnesota will actually play very well, especially with their wall getting triples. You saw him get a triple this past year over there. So his bat over there will play substantial for that team. Absolutely. But it got to be Joe Ryan or nothing. That's what I'm saying. If it's Jaren Duran, it has to be somebody impactful. It has to. Right. It can't just be pennies. Because if you traded for pennies, you might as well just have kept them.
Yeah. And apparently
Same thing with Abreu too.
And apparently we're pursuing Bo Bichette, reported by Jeff
I saw that too, yeah.
That might piss Trevor Story off, and I don't like that because of how well Trevor Story played.
Yeah.
Just leave Bo Bichette alone. Honestly, he's not coming here. I think he just wants more money. That's really what it is. Because I think I saw the report, obviously, in our Discord. Me and Nero, we have a Discord, Bay State Media /WTHHS. Go follow his academy. It's Emoji Roll. You guys can go click on it. Go follow all the updates for him. But there was a report in the Discord. I saw that Bo Bichette opted out of something about his contract. Okay, I think that's just because he wants more money. I don't think that's because he's leaving Toronto after this overachieving season. They went to the fucking World Series. No one thought they would get there.
Right. So and they were this close to winning it. They were right there. They were right there.
And I think, he would have been a big difference if he was healthy, 1,000%. I think they would have won if he was healthy. There's no doubt about it. They would have won if he was healthy. He made a huge difference for that team. He is one of the best baseball players in the whole entire league. So the reality of him coming to the Red Sox is slim to none. And Trevor Story still has a couple years left on his contract here, right?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, so it's what would be, I don't get the point of that unless you try and move him to second base, which I don't think he would go for that personally. And then that's if you sign Bichette, it's okay, then what do you do about Trevor Story?
Actually, now thinking about it.
You know what I mean?
No, it's funny. Actually, he's a free agent after this season. Actually.
Trevor Story?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now thinking about it. But that's the thing with Bichette. His dad played here too. So there could be that ties also. I mean, his dad played in Colorado also. His dad was a star in Colorado. Yeah. Colorado sucks. If I'm Bo Bichette at the moment, if Colorado was a much better team, maybe you can go back home, for your dad's legacy. But his dad, when he came here at the tail end of his career, his dad was smooth. His dad was nice. Here. Yeah. So, I mean, if he wanted to come here, at the same time, I'm not opposed because a guy like Bichette, he's smooth when healthy. He's, one of the best. But again, if you're going to get him, it's going to be another a Xander Bogart situation, but only this time with Trevor Story, because they're
Yeah.
going to move Trevor Story to second base or have him at short, but then move Bichette to second for that season.
Right.
You know your writing's on the wall. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense to move Story. It's like I love
Yeah.
Bo Bichette, but at what cost?
Right.
And I don't even think Story. He's not even. Has he played really any other position? Because I don't think he's played second.
No, he did.
Maybe.
Yeah, he played second
Oh,
for a
he
year.
did. He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
with Xander Bogart's here. Yeah, and he did well. He did well. But he got hurt. So
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like,
I mean, he can play second base. He can, but
is
you
he
already
willing
know
to move there.
exactly. Like, and he already knows the writing's on the wall once he moves over there. He's gonna say yes if they want him to. He'll say yes because he's a team player. But he already knows. Yeah, this is my last year. They want me out. Yeah.
That and if Bregman opts out, hey man, we got Marcelo Meyer. I don't know how Red Sox feel, but I'm not losing sleep over Bregman, even though I had the first mock-up of the Bay State Media jersey for the Red Sox jersey was a Bregman jersey. Oh my god. But it I don't think that Bregman, like, I don't think he's gonna opt out. I think he's just waiting to see what Craig Breslow is gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I think he's waiting to do. And obviously, just to double check my bases here, let's see. Alex Bregman contract.
Mm-hmm.
It says, oh no, he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he officially did.
So there you go. Yeah, he wants to have more money.
Tough. Yeah.
For sure.
And he's expected to go to an AL contender.
Yeah. Sad sight. As of right now.
If that nigga goes to the Yankees, you guys will see me burn that fucking jersey. I'm telling you, he goes to the Yankees chat, you will see me burn that jersey live. No bullshit. I'm burning that shit on Instagram and YouTube live. I'm not joking. No way, bro. If he goes to the Yankees, oh my god, I can't be caught wearing that shit.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I might frame it in the front of it because it says Bay State Media with the number 2, so they might not know. It just might be a mock-up. Put it in a frame, glass frame, hang it up on the wall.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, exactly.
Yep.
I tell you, man. Yeah, if he goes to the Yankees, that's fucked. That is
Yep.
fucked. If I'm Craig Breslow, especially if because again, if I was him, I'd find a way to sign him back. Figure out what you want to do for the power hitters, whether it's a Pete Alonso or Kyle Schwarber. I almost said Carl.
Please, Schwarber. Please, Schwarber.
Yeah,
please.
It's one or the other. Or there's even talks about obviously with the number 2 starter, but there's even talks about trying to build somewhat of a super bullpen. There's guys out there. If I was Craig Breslow, I'd low-key try to stay away from the Edwin Diaz, not because of the player, but the contract. He's going to want $100 million.
The money. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But it came out today that the Mets are like front runners for that. So
that's fine. Keep his ass in New York.
Keep him
his ass in New York, and they'll pay him.
Stay in New York.
They already gave a nigga $700 million. We already know who it was, so he's gonna get his money.
Their owners are filthy fucking rich, dude.
Yeah.
Oil and all that.
So, I just hope and pray they make the playoffs. That's it, because doing what they did at the trade deadline and getting everybody imaginable that was available, especially pitching wise.
Yeah,
they sold. Yeah, they got to do better. So that's one guy right there you probably should lock up if you want to get the vibes continue to be corrected. So yeah, we'll see. But with that being said, Chad, we'll see what happens with the Sox. Obviously, the offseason just started. Trades are happening. Signings will happen very shortly. Let's see what they do. Let's see what Craig Breslow cooks up. He pulled the Dave Dombrowski route and told everybody what he wanted to do and what he was going to do. So let's make it happen, Craig.
Yeah, please, Craig.
Or somebody might beat the fuck out you. No bullshit.
Yeah,
it won't be me. Won't be me. Won't be me. Somebody will.
But
somebody
walking alone in Boston. I don't know.
Exactly. Don't walk by Fenway Park.
Streets.
Right. Don't walk by. Don't walk on the sidewalk or nothing where people know who you are.
Yep.
Keep it low key, guys.
Yeah, keep it cool, guys.
But Chad, with that being said, this has been another edition of What the Hell is Happening in Sports, man. Wrong thing. I didn't even want to play that. I wanted to play the claps, guys. I wanted to play the claps. I tell you, man. Hey, we made it through another one.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you already know the
Beautiful
vibe.
one.
Shout out to my
Beautiful
boy
one.
Amari Scott. You already know. Shout out to the Bay State Media. Shout out to Amari. You already know, guys. It's been
Yes,
another edition.
indeed.
Hell yeah, it's the one and only Narrow Man. We'll be back with another one very shortly. See what happens on Friday with the C's. I know Amari got the Bruins tomorrow with the Bay State Media, so go tune in on that. Like and
Yes,
subscribe
indeed.
to What the Hell's Happening Sports. Like the live up, and like and subscribe to Bay State Media as well on YouTube and on Twitch. We are also live on Twitch, so go do that for us.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah, chat. You already know, but we will see you on the flip side, man. Peace. Yeah, love y'all.